This is Rio of Madison Rising, and you're watching MaxspeedTV.
Are you ready? Are you ready for the comeback? Yeah. Are you ready for the comeback? You know we the ones that ready for whatever. We gon' have to show them something, man. Let me see them hands up all the way front back. You don't understand that I'm doing what you can't with no cap. This is the return of the one. You ain't see him coming, you just heard drums. They've been ready for the battle. Any person that comes got the weight of the world on them. Yeah, they're too strong. I might have been down, not out. It's on sight, you gon' figure that out. And I might have been down, not out. Only one thing I gotta know now is, are you ready for the comeback? Yeah. Are you ready for the... Are you ready for the comeback? You know we the ones that... Let me see them hands up all the way front back. Yeah, it's the comeback. Are you ready for the comeback? Now I see you with your bad self. If you're into taking L's, then it can't help. I'll be the self-made champ, look at my belt. I built this all from the ground up, it's all by myself, y'all know. This is the return of the one. You ain't see him coming, you just heard drums. They've been ready for the battle, any person that comes got the weight of the world on them, yeah, they're too strong. I might have been down, not out. It's on sight, you gon' figure that out. And I might have been down, not out. Only one thing I gotta know now is, are you ready for the comeback? Yeah. Are you ready for the... Are you ready for the comeback? You know we the ones that... Let me see them hands up all the way front back. Yeah, it's the comeback. Are you ready for the comeback?
Well, folks, it's Monday night. Once again, we are back here at iRacing Super Speedway. Guys, we are 2 races away from the playoffs for Monday Night Premier Series. We're right here on MaxspeedTV. TV. Steve Lane up in the booth once again, bringing you all the action as we get wound down on the regular season. We're going to go ahead and show you what our playoff picture and stuff looks like right now. As you can see, that whole top 10, the 10 drivers, I should say, there on the left, all have wins on the season, with Stephen Luttrell being our only repeat winner this season. Gabe Butler, Hunter Reynolds, Zach Workman, last week's winner, Mark Mann, Brian Wayne, Josh Ball, Jimmy Reynolds, Jeff Crosby Jr., Steve Korosek, all with wins on the season. Right now, Adam Kilday is actually sitting in the top spot of the points for the regular season at plus 81. Nate Warren right there at plus 55. Zach Fritsch at plus 35. Rick Sanchez at plus 14. Kenny Rill at plus 8. And Peter DeBorja at plus 2 above that cut line. And then you see Dustin Logston right there, minus 2, right on the bubble. Les Levy at minus 4. Liam McNeese at minus 5. And Vicente Guerrero at a -14, but one a good race could get them above that cut line. We'll see what happens, though. But speaking of last week, we're going to go ahead and take a look what happened last week at 08 Daytona. Again, Zach Workman with his first win of the season last week. Jimmy Reynolds, or I should say Hunter Reynolds, in a second. Alex Green in third. Jimmy Reynolds in fourth. And Les Levy in a fifth. Your stage winners last week, Rick Sanchez, winner of stage 1. Zach Fritsch, the winner of stage 2. And then we look at the most points for the last 3 races. Anthony English with 104. Zach Workman with 102. Nate Warren at 95. Adam Kilday at 95. And Mark Mann at 94. As we are winding down our practice here, folks, let me get my stuff on here. And it is not wanting to work, but we're going to make it work as soon as I can find it. 4 minutes left of practice right now, folks. It's Rick Sanchez with the fastest time out there. As of right now, but everybody is down pit road. Just a few people out there practicing, waiting on the qualification to start. But we'll go ahead and get to our pre-race analytics here, folks. We are at 65-degree air, or 85. I can't hardly see. I believe it's 65-degree air temperature, 0% humidity. We got partly cloudy skies today here at iRacing Superspeedway. And a 1 mile an hour wind with a track temp of 80 degrees. Of course, these trucks run pretty good here at iRacing Superspeedway, so we'll see how they react getting into the qualifying. Right now, we're sitting, it looks like, at about 32 drivers, which is our normal field for Monday night. But again, we got 31 drivers trying to make their way up into the playoff spots. All it takes is one good race to get them there. But I do appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. Glad to have you guys here. Of course, iBog already out there in a chat. I'm sure we got some other people out there watching it right now. So we're going to hopefully get some qualifying started here pretty soon. Again, about 2.5 minutes left of practice. Went live just a little bit early. Well, let's see. Well, I'm going to pick on this guy because, well, one, because I can, and two, because he was giving me crap before, a little bit of crap, him and Steve Rada before the race. But Dustin Logston, buddy, glad to have you out there tonight, man. Kind of caught you in mid-sentence, which, you know, us broadcasters, we got that timing.
Oh, you absolutely do. It's always impeccable, too. I love it.
Well, man, you know, we got a pretty decent temperature out there tonight, even on the track, about 85 degrees. I know you've been out there practicing. How's stuff feel out there to you tonight, buddy?
It feels pretty good. Temperature-wise, you can stay tucked up a little longer than, you know, what we have on previous races before. So that's kind of nice. Setup seems pretty stable from past ones we've had and we've ran here before. As long as you preset that corner going in, I've only seen a few people really do that drift up on that force feedback load going into turns 1 and 3. But otherwise, I was drafting with Workman, and I mean he was staying glued to me all the way around the track. So it should be a fun one tonight. Well,
of course, we got to give you guys a shout out, Dustin. I mean, the overlays that you guys with Nerditudes done is just amazing. I can't tip my hat to you guys enough, especially, you know, taking your time out of your Friday. You could have been with your family doing stuff, but kind of giving me a rundown on how it works and everything. So big shout out to you guys and basically the whole crew over at Nerditudes.
Oh yeah, well, and I can be spending time with the family, but don't cut yourself or this community short. You guys are family too, so in a roundabout way, I still spent time with family nonetheless. But I mean, we got to help each other out. I mean, it's broadcasting. It's a tough gig sometimes, and there's a lot that's going on. So if there's something that we can do to help out friends, we like to do that. But as you can tell, I also like getting in here and rubbing fenders and door panels with some of the guys here as well. So it kind of makes it fun.
Well, before I let you go get your qualifying in, I know you guys have got on the Nerd TV coming up, and I'm going to give you guys a quick plug and shout out on Wednesday, correct?
Yes, the OP Buttkicker Grand National Series starts their playoffs on Wednesday. So they're starting that out. We actually, as the production crew, actually got to choose what the cars were for each round. So they're running the new Gen 4s for round 1, Xfinity for round 2, and the championship rounds the trucks.
Well, awesome. Well, great job. And, well, I don't know if I'm going to be out there or not, but if not, I'm going to be in chat supporting you guys out there, Dustin. Good luck, buddy. And, man, just have some fun out there.
Oh, absolutely. Always, my friend. And you have some fun up there in the booth. Hopefully it's a good show for you.
Well, let's hope so. Have a good one, bud. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. You too, bub.
All right. So we got to hear from Dustin Logston as we get ready to go qualifying here, folks. Now let's get our OP qualifying up here. And we will get the time up just because, well, we'd rather see how much time they have left to qualify. Right now, the 42 that is Peter DeBorja out on the track. So is Eric Laurie, Les Levy, Gabe Butler, Jimmy Reynolds, Andrew Schroeder. Of course, Dustin Logston, we were talking to him, and we'll get a good look at his truck. Running a Jelly Row paint scheme tonight. He said before the race he had somebody make that special for his wife, so we'll get a good look at that here just a little bit. Steve Rada, Rick Sanchez, Zach Workman, last week's winner, out there getting his qualifying time, and Jeff Crosby Jr., Sean McCarr, Zach Fritch, again, Peter DeBorja, Vicente Guerrero out there, Nate Warren, Jeff Crosby Sr., Dave Hunt, Kenny Reel back out on the track this week after missing, I think, a couple of weeks. But glad to see Kenny back out there as well, and Alex Giffen. Another one we haven't seen in a while, that number 8 of Dude Conrad. Haven't seen Dude out here in a little bit, so good to see him out on the track. Jeff Brown out there giving a thumbs up on the broadcast. Appreciate you, Jeff. Thank you, sir. But, of course, like I said, Dustin Logston and those guys, we don't broadcast on Wednesdays, but gotta give them some love, so be sure you check them out. Nerditudes, they will be live on Facebook, so be sure you go and give them a shout-out this Wednesday for the OP Buttkicker Grand National Series. I might go out there and race with those guys. If I do, I'll start in the back just so I don't get involved with any of the guys in the points chase, because I didn't get to run much this year. But we'll see. Jeff, I see Moose Pie out there as well. I almost said Jeff Brown again, but I remembered I already talked to Jeff. So, well, right now, Peter DeBorja has set the fastest lap. It's 55 at .37 is what I'm showing, but it's showing 55.36. Vicente Guerrero in at P2 spot. Jeff Crosby Jr. setting P3. Rick Sanchez in at P4. Let me go ahead and refresh that while I'm thinking about it. So about a minute and a half left of qualifying. Looks like Zach Workman in a 5th. Jimmy Reynolds 6th. Les Levy in a 7th. Zach Fritch in 8th. Dustin Logston with a top 10 start in 9th. Well, just got knocked to 10th by Jimmy Reynolds and bumped up to 6th. So about a minute left of qualifying. We'll see what happens. We still got guys out on the track. Gabe Butler out there, Adam Kilday, Josh Ball, Nate Warren, and Kenny Reel. William Luttrell out there with the Stephen Luttrell fan club. Steven has not qualified. I don't know if he's going to qualify or just start where they start him at. We'll see. Gabe Butler jumping up into that P2 spot, knocking Vicente out of that P2, knocking him down to third. Adam Kilday putting a he's in 13th now, so again, Josh Ball still out there. Dan Harrington out on the track and getting his qualifying lap in. He hates it. Well, you know what? He I think he won here, hasn't he? I think he won the last race here at the iRacing Super Speedway. So, well, qualifying is going to be over, and we're going to go ahead and grab our pole sitter, bring him up to the booth. If I could get him up here. Peter DeBorja with that pole tonight. Man, Pete, blistering fast time. I mean, you had about almost a full tenth of a second off of Gabe there. How are you feeling out there tonight, brother?
Well, yeah, it was a quick car. Appreciate the guys back at the shop doing that there, and the awesome paint scheme this week. Dunkin' Donuts. I don't know how much you knew about Randall, but that was a big thing for him there, and that's the RC52 there on the hood. So, yeah. I know we ran the race for him last week, and a lot of guys who weren't around here for them got to learn about him a bit, but I don't want to spoil anything. I'm not one of the admins that has all the information, but we're not done with Randall stuff yet. So I think stay tuned. Sometime over the next couple months here, you might see a little bit more about that 52 coming around, and maybe something to commemorate that a little bit more formally than a quick one-off race there. So happy to put the paint on there this week, and thinking about him and his family, and we're coming down here to the end. I'm remembering a race from a few seasons back with him here, where him and I started on the front row, and both of us were right near the playoff bubble and didn't know how it was going to shake out. And then I think Derek Conley, that's a blast from the past, won the race out of nowhere. So yeah, but yeah, man, we're still thinking about those guys, and that's he's a big deal to our league here. I know he's just the driver to a lot of these guys, but you go look through, a lot of our old Facebook posts and whatnot. Randall didn't say a whole lot in the chats in there all the time, but there was one time he piped up every single season, and that was Hall of Fame time. And he really put, the community and stuff first. He was the person, me and McCara bug you a lot with that now, Steven. We're the ones telling you about all the graphic stuff and the survey stuff. That was all Randall before us, before our time there. That was Randall's job, and that was one of my first introductions to being a Monday driver, was getting that survey from him and started to feel for real. And it was just, we're still thinking about that guy, and hopefully I can represent him a little bit well up here and maybe sneak into the playoffs.
Well, let's hope. I mean, you're just right there. I believe let me get the points pulled back up here real quick. I believe you're right there above the bubble by 2 points. So definitely going to need a good showing tonight, Pete, to kind of get yourself pushed up a little bit further in those point standings.
Yep, that's the hope. I mean, I know we say that at the beginning of the season it's two drops. I don't like to think of it that way. I think about it instead as like, what's your 11 best races? And I certainly have plenty of disappointing races this season, but I've got a couple real shining stars, and I'm hoping to add one more of those tonight. And I think that could really help out.
Well, buddy, good luck. You guys are rolling out. We're going to get to our starting grid, and congratulations on getting that top spot tonight, bud.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
We'll get him back down there, and we will go ahead and get to our starting grid here. As you see, Peter DeBorja on the pole, Gabe Butler to his outside. Row number 2, Josh Ball, Vicente Guerrero. Row number 3, Jeff Crosby Jr., Rick Sanchez. Row number 4, Zach Workman, Jimmy Reynolds. Row number 5 will be Andy Brigante and Les Levy. Starting row number 6, Zach Fritch and Dustin Logston. Row number 7, Richard Kuhn, Eric Laurie. Row number 8, Adam Kilday, Sean McCara. Row 9, Nate Warren and Kenny Reel. Row number 10, Dude Conrad and Dave Hunt. Row number 11, Alex Giffen, Jeff Crosby Sr. Row number 12, Andrew Schroeder and Steve Rada. Brian Wing and Steve Korsek make up row 13. Row 14, Shane Ward, Stephen Luttrell. Row 15, David Overstreet and Mark Mann. And row 16 is going to be Dan Harrington and Doug Johnson. And that is going to be it as we are green flag racing here at iRacing Super Speedway. And actually the last row is going to be Len McNeese and Kenny Real. Looks like Kenny started on pit road, so he's going to have to make up some ground as Peter DeBorja does get that good a jump out to the front. Got the one of Josh Ball behind him, but on that outside here comes that 88 of Gabe Butler, the 14 of Vicente Guerrero, and the 5 of Rick Sanchez. Trying to make that outside line work, but you see the one of Josh Ball glued all over the back end of that 42 machine as they come down the straightaway, front straightaway here. Another lap. The second lane, though, they're gaining a little bit on the straightaway, but man, they're losing a lot in that corner. In turns 1 and 2 now, Gabe Butler kind of flattening out there. And then looking back through the rest of the field, you see them coming around the back there. Alex Gibbon, Jeff Crosby Sr., Steve Rada, all nose to tail right there. Brian Wang, the 027 of Steve Korosek. The 39 is Shane Ward, Andrew Schroeder, Mark Mann, David Overstreet, Dan Harrington, Len McNeese, and then Stephen Luttrell and Doug Johnson back here, and then Kenny Real just bringing up the back end. Now the 33 of Jeff Crosby Jr. jumping to the outside with the 88 of Gabe Butler as we get going once again around turns 1 and 2. Now Gabe, probably one of the best, I don't want to say best, but one of the great pushers out there tonight, right on that bumper. Of course, we heard Dustin talk a little bit about the track temperature being a little bit cooler so the trucks don't get as hot as quick. And Gabe and the 33 of a junior jumping out to the front there, kind of walking away from the rest of the pack. They closed up fairly quickly. Now Vicente Guerrero and the 5 of Rick Sanchez on that outside. Here comes the 17 of Jimmy Reynolds. Of course, the 62 of Les Levy. That is the 81 of Dustin Logston. We talked to him in the 53 of Dave Hunt, trying to close up and maybe try to get with those 3 guys on the outside to get pushed out towards the front. But Les looking like he's in a bubble there, just having a hard time. We're going to be 3 wide. That is Dude Conrad to the outside. He's got help with the 0. It's actually the 05 of Brian Wang. Oh, Dude Conrad around. That got down into Steve Rada. Dude on his side, the 16 of Nate Warren getting a piece of that as well. That's going to bring out our first caution as the 39 of, that is Shane Ward up into the wall. Let's go back and take a look here real quick. That's going to be on a Dude Conrad, if I can find Dude's name here. And let's get on our chase view. It looked like maybe just a bad push from the 05 of Brian Wang right there as it speeds up going forward. You see Brian just getting to the outside of him instead of hitting him center, comes back down, scrapes across his bumper. Well, that gets him loose right down in the front of Steve Rada. Nowhere for Steve to go, and then Adam Kilday getting a shot to the side there as Dude is on his side, almost on his lid. Fortunately, it rolls back over on all fours as Steve comes in and just boom, backs right back into Dude Conrad there. Looking back, going to turn the camera around here. I don't see anybody else getting anything. As Mark Mann gets around Steve Rada, so does David Overstreet, Dan Harrington, Lynn McNeese, Stephen Luttrell, and Doug Johnson all get by D3 of Rada. Now we're at lap 6 of 84. Of course, we do run stages here, so lap 25 will be the white flag for the stage 1. Finishing lap 26 will have the caution come out to end the stage. Now, if a caution comes out at lap 21, that's going to end the stage early, so we'll see what happens. Jeff Crosby Jr. leader. Gabe Butler second. Peter DeBorja in third. Vicente Guerrero up to fourth. Josh Ball in fifth. Rick Sanchez sixth. Jimmy Reynolds in seventh. Zach Workman in eighth. Les Levy ninth. And Dustin Logston rounding out your top 10. Well, guys, we're going to step aside real quick. Let me get that off. We don't need the qualifying up, but we're going to step aside here from our green flag sponsor, Chevy Land down in Shreveport, Louisiana. If you're in the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, go to ChevyLand.com, take a look at their inventory, do everything online. If you can't make it to Shreveport, they will deliver in the lower 48 states. That is ChevyLand.com. Shreveport, Louisiana. Tell them MaxspeedTV sent you. We'll be right back.
Sizzling summer savings are yours for the taking at North Louisiana's #1 dealer, Chevyland. Save now before the price adjustments kick in. Get up to $9,000 off MSRP on select new Silverado models or incredible 0% financing on select new Chevrolet vehicles. And the Chevyland Advantage, 12 months, no charge scheduled maintenance. Get the best deals at North Louisiana's #1 dealer, Chevyland. Your Silverado headquarters. Online at ChevyLand.com.
As we get back, the lights on the pace truck do go out. They're going to be stacking them up side by side to get back to racing. Belva out there saying, I hope this is a little better than last night's Monkeys race. You know, it was definitely interesting. I know who she's talking about. And he has just been having some really tough luck. Getting up to the front and then getting bad pushes or something happening, getting caught up in it. And, you know, I hate it for him because I've been there. I know what it's like. We're fixing to go back green here, folks. And I do apologize, they do not have any camera packs for iRacing Super Speedway. So I've only got one camera pack that I can use, and well, I hate to say it, it's not the greatest. I try to go through and adjust some of them pre-race, but there's only so much it'll let me do. So we come out of turn number 4, the pace truck will dive off down to pit road. Now, there is not a marked restart zone, so to speak, like the Geico, but you'll see that first white line, and then that is the restart zone as the Chevrolet green flag is back out once again. On the loud notes, we go back green flag for racing. Now, they are at 55% fuel. Only one fast repair, and we have 2 GWC attempts in the bank. That's the 33 of Jeff Crosby Jr., the 88 of Gabe Butler, and the 1 of Josh Ball. Really getting a good run. Josh with an aggressive move out in front of Peter DeBorja to that outside line. Peter's going to be right on his bumper and pushing him out towards the front. We'll see how long he can stay out there, or if he can get enough push to get down to that inside line. We'll see as they come around turns 1 and 2. Going to come back down and around to the back stretch here. We back on the front stretch. I don't know. This track is so big. We're on the front stretch. Coming back across the start finish line. That would be Josh Ball with that lap led. So he will get a bonus point for a lap led. We're back 3 wide. That is the 99 of Alex Giffen going to the outside, but nobody going with him. It's Adam Kilday on the middle, and then Dave Hunt down at the bottom. Here comes Kenny Real. It's not going to give him any room. Now he drops it back down into that second lane. Looking back through here, really not seeing a whole lot going on. Most everybody is up front. And I wanted to go ahead and do this while I'm thinking about it. I'm looking at Dustin Logston's truck here. Running that Jelly Roll paint scheme, new paint scheme he's running. He had that made specifically for his wife. So, really cool looking paint scheme. Got some of his tattoos on the truck. Nerditudes.gg, that's the website of the Nerd Esports race team. Of course, all his sponsors, iRacing Flag, or iRacing iFlag, Icon Apparel, Breeze Coffee. So big shout out again to Dustin and the Nerditudes guys. And we're going to have a checkup here as Dustin gets into the back of the 19 of Zach Workman. No harm, no foul. We're still rolling. Gabe Butler down on the inside. Josh Ball getting a great push. That's a threefer right there. Those 3 guys, Vicente Guerrero, Peter DeBorja, and Josh Ball. Richard Kuhn, Sean McCara out on that middle line right now as we get going here. And I think at 55% fuel, we're probably looking at about 14, maybe 15 laps before they need a pit, but we'll see. I didn't get any of that information prior to the race. I should have, but I did not. But right now, we still got 33 cars out there, 33 trucks out on the track. Everybody's still kind of hanging in there. Looking back here, we got another group working back here, starting with Andrew Schroeder, Duke Conrad. That is Nate Warren, Mark Mann, and the 13 of Andy Brigante. And David Overstreet. And the 36 of Stephen Luttrell out on the outside is the 15 of Jeff Crosby Sr. there behind the 84 Lynn McNeese. And then Douglas Johnson back here. Steve Rada is going to be a lap down as everybody gets past him. Now back out to the front though, Richard Kuhn. We got a new leader out front with Josh Ball on his bumper, Peter DeBorja still on the inside, and then on the outside, we got guys coming down pit road. Gabe Butler leading that group down pit road, and we've got a mess going on back here. Dustin Logston, getting up and under Dustin was the 8 of Dude Conrad. Some shenanigans going on down here on pit road. But your leaders down there, Peter DeBorja, Gabe Butler, Jeff Crosby Jr., Jimmy Reynolds, Zach Fritch, Eric Laurie, Adam Kilday, Dude Conrad, Dustin Logston, and Steve Korosek all down pit road. Fortunately, Dustin Logston is going to have a little bit of damage fixed. Now we got another group coming down. That's going to be Josh Ball, Vicente Guerrero, Brian Wang, Rick Sanchez, and Alex Giffen. Richard Kuhn opting to stay out with Sean McCara, Zach Workman, and Shane Ward. Dan Harrington right there. Dave Hunt coming up behind him. Les Levy, Lynn McNeese, Andrew Schroeder, Nate Warren, Andy Brigante in that group with Jeff Crosby Sr. right there as the 46 of David Overstreet goes back down to the bottom line. I would probably say that they're fixing to start hitting here pretty soon. kind of keeping an eye. I don't see anybody. It looks like Steven Luttrell coming down pit road by himself. That's going to kind of spread the field out. Kenny Reels down pit road now as well. Eric Laurie, Dude Conrad, both down on pit road, probably getting some damage fixed. Yeah, they're going to have to. I mean, you gotta understand though that they're trying to not to lose any positions coming down pit road, so they're waiting to the last minute to get on the brakes, and that just causes issues sometimes. So these guys coming around turn number 4, opting not to go back out. That's Richard Coon, Sean McCarr, Zach Workman, Shane Moore, Dan Harrington, Dave Hunt. They've got Les Levy, Lynn McNeese, Andrew Schroeder, Nate Warren, Andy Brigante. That's the 85 of Adam Kilday. A lap down. We got several trucks a lap down. Peter DeBorja. They're still on the lead lap. Steve Rada is back out. The only one that really a lap down, and that's going to be Eric Laurie. iRacing, quick glitch it on me. Don't need a repeat of last night. Steve Luttrell getting past 8 up on the high side. Now, iRacing Super Speedway is such a huge, wide track that even in the corners, 3 and 4 wide is a 71 of Sean McCarr, right on the bumper of that 41 or 47 of Richard Coon, giving him a push down this front straightaway, or this back straightaway here. Lap 17 of 84. 19 is Zach Workman getting that bump going into the corner. Really gets guys bent out of shape. Still nobody coming down pit road. Well, we got one coming down. I believe that is the 03 of Steve Rada. Duke Conrad still down on pit road. While we're watching these guys go around, we're going to take a look at our teams. The Nerd Esports, consisting of Steve Roddick, Jeff Crosby Sr., Pete DeBorja, Richard Coon, and Dustin Logston. Then you got Team Checker Flag Motorsports, Bubba Winningham, David Overstreet, Dave Hunt, Les Levy, and Lynn McNeese. Team Buttkicker, that's going to be consistent Dude Conrad, Jimmy Reynolds, Hunter Reynolds, Eric Laurie, and Gabe Butler. Team Wicked, you got Andy Brigante, Andrew Schroeder, John Guerrera, Doug Johnson, and Alex Giffen. Team FSR, Bill Simmons Racing, Zach Bridge, Zach Workman, Jeff Crosby Jr., and Sean McCarr. And then we got Team Vendetta, that is Alex Green, Mark Mann, Rick Sanchez, Adam Kilday. And then the part-timers, you got Rick C. Brents, Anthony English, and James Mayer. Team No Presta, or as they got in Discord, No Pasta, is Josh Ball, Kenny Real, Vicente Guerrero, Stephen Luttrell, Adam Schramm, and then part-timers, you have Stephen Miles and Brandon Pfeiffer. And then last but not least, Dale Cup team, that is Brian Wayne, Steve Korsek, and then their part-timers, as we see Richard Coon coming down pit road by himself. Nobody else coming down with him that I can see. That's going to put Dan Harrington out front, but Les Levy making a run right there with him on the inside with the 71 of Sean McCarr, the 19 of Zach Workman. Lynn McNeese kind of out there in that second lane by himself. As the 99 of Alex Giffen, he is back and forth trying to figure out where he's going to be. We've seen the 16 of Nate Warren getting a little bit out of shape right there. Oh, guys, that's going to bring out a caution. We got somebody up into the wall. That was Steve Borsak. He ended up getting towed. Oh, yeah, a lot of damage. Let's take a look here, see if it will show us what happened. Well, right here, Steve gets a little bit loose, goes down, gets hit by the 99. That gets him sideways. He gets down into the 19. Right back up in front of the 12 of Zach Fritsch, and then head first into that outside wall. Fortunately, it didn't look like anybody else got involved in that. Lap 21, so I'm pretty sure that will be the stage. Let me check. Hang on. We will be right back. All right, folks, just got word that is not the stage, so they will have a shootout here to finish the stage. Lights on the pace truck are still on. They should go off as they come down the back stretch. We're going to step aside once again, hear from one of our other sponsors, but we will be right back. All right, folks, we are back. Looks like they may have extended this out another lap. Get two cars. I believe that was just trying to see who that was that went around the pace car, the pace truck. Might have been Zach Fritsch and Alex Giffen. When it got to wave around the pace truck. As we get ready to go back green as we come out of a turn or down the back stretch into turn number 3 and 4, we should be going back green. It'll be a 1-lap shootout to the stage, or 2-lap shootout to the stage. Now, the white flag of the stage will come out on lap 25 at the end of lap 26. Or at the end of 25, start of 26. That will be the end of stage 1. A base truck will dive off down to pit road once again. The Chevy Land green flag is up in the air. Welcome to that little makeshift restart zone. Chevy Land green flag out once again. Here we go on the loud pedal. Who is going to take stage number 1? Peter DeBorja on the outside. Jimmy Reynolds getting right up on Peter, trying to get him pushed around in front of the 47 of Richard Coon. Giving him a shove in the corner, same as Gabe Butler on the 47 of Richard. Guys going back and forth. We're going to keep our eye right here because this is going to determine the stage. Come down the back straightaway, come back around the corner, then the white flag will be out for the stage. Jimmy getting a little bit out of sort on that entry, on the corner entry. Richard kind of moving up a little bit, gets a shot there from Brian Wayne. Gabe Butler getting pushed out to the front by the 42 of Peter DeBorja. So we got the white flag out for the stage. One more lap around, and it's just going to be a drag race at this point to see who's going to take that stage 1 win. Right now, Gabe Butler is your leader, but Richard Coon is not going to make it easy. That outside line is getting a great run right now. We'll see what happens when they come into turns 3 and 4 here. Now Richard Coon back out to the lead, though, coming around turns 3 and 4. Good push by the 1 and the 05 of Brian Wayne. Richard Coon making that truck 2 lanes wide. Coming to the line, though, Richard Coon will be your stage 1 winner. We will get with Richard here in just a second. I'm sure they will come back down pit road. Finished stage 1 like we should have. Caution came out at lap 20, so they had a 2-lap shootout for the stage. So congratulations to Richard on winning that stage 1. Like I said, we'll watch these guys come back around. They're kind of cooling off. They'll drop down or get caught back up to the pace truck. Zach Workman trying to make his way around. He will have to slow up. Well, Benz, they are coming down the back stretch. Let's go ahead and we'll bring our stage winner up real quick. Richard, congratulations, buddy. Stage 1 win. Some extra bonus points for you tonight there. How you feeling out there tonight, bud?
Oh, it feels good, man. It's track's nice tonight. Car's handling good. I actually feel pretty good. I think it's my first stage win on a Monday series. So, yeah, I'm ready, man.
Well, that's got to give you a little bit of confidence boost, a little bit of momentum going into stage 2. And man, that last talk, let's talk a little bit real quick about that last push. Man, you had Gabe right behind you, and then Josh Ball was pushing Gabe, just pushed you all the way out to the front.
Yeah, I kind of hoping Gabe would stick with me, but I figured he jumped the outside, and I'm not sure. I think it was Wang. I owe that man for pushing me to get the stage win.
Well, awesome job, buddy. Congratulations once again. You guys are going to get your pit stops done. Now, I wanted to ask real quick, what are you guys getting on fuel laps on the fuel tank? I know you guys are running 55%. What's your average laps there?
I think right around 13 laps is what we were figuring.
Okay. All right. Well, good luck, Richard. And man, you still got a lot of racing left.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
I'll put him back down into the Nerd Esports. As we get ready to go back green, Zach Workman coming out of pit road first. Rick Sanchez right there in a second. Of course, your stage winner, Richard Kuhn, there in a third. Nate Warren fourth. Jimmy Reynolds rounding out your top five. Eric Laurie right now is 3 laps down. And I believe Steve Korosek is 2 laps down. Dustin Logston is a lap down. Kenny Real a lap down. Stephen Luttrell, I believe he's showing a lap down, but he is out there with the pace truck, so he'll probably get the wave around. Adam Kilday with quite a bit of damage on the back end of his truck, so we're going to keep an eye on that. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and step aside real quick. We'll be right back in just a second.
Sizzling summer savings are yours for the taking at North Louisiana's #1 dealer, Chevyland. Save now before the price adjustments kick in. Get up to $9,000 off MSRP on select new Silverado models or incredible 0% financing on select new Chevrolet vehicles. And the Chevyland Advantage, 12 months, no charge scheduled maintenance. Get the best deals at North Louisiana's #1 dealer, Chevyland. Your Silverado headquarters. Online at Chevyland.com.
Well, as we get back, they are coming around turns 1 and 2. Going to come down that back stretch. Lights on the pace truck are off. We're going to get these guys stacked up, racked up, ready to go once again here. As they come down the back stretch, everybody is getting back in line. Stephen Luttrell did get back on the lead lap. Lynn McNeese coming off of pit road. As we see the 81 of Dustin Logston, looks like he's getting a wave around back on the lead lap as well. Or no, he is 1 lap down from 2, so. Stephen Luttrell, he is coming down pit road. So about 13 laps is what we're guessing, somewhere around in there on a tank of fuel. I think I said about 14 or 15, depending on if they could save. Pace truck will dive off down to pit road, almost taking the front of Zach Workman's truck off. Zach is the race leader, so he has control of the restart. Chevyland, green flag out once again on the loud pedal. Pretty good start there by Workman, Kuhn, and Will Sanchez and DeBorja on that outside line. Got the 17 of Jimmy Reynolds on the outside, the 05 of Brian Wang as well. Now we're going 3 wide there. Vicente Guerrero on that outside line with no help. Now Vicente drops it back down. I've seen sparks coming off of somebody's truck going into that turn. We see the 15 of Jeff Crosby, and we got people up and around. Oh, big wreck. I don't know who that was. That was a 47 of Richard Kuhn. Hard into those crash barrels at the end of pit road. Let's take a look here. As we are on, well, I thought I was. Let's go. We're going to back this up because right here, it looks like maybe Richard got a little bit loose on his own. Coming out of that corner. Yeah, he went up, came back down, got down on that little bit of the apron. Well, that gets him sideways. He goes up into the 71 of Sean McCara, and you'll just see the air catch Sean. And Sean is up and over, and oh, Alex Gipp and Richard Kuhn end over end up in the air. Well, guys, we interviewed him for the stage win, and it looks like the broadcaster's jinx had struck again. So we're going to rewind this back here, folks, because I want to go to a cockpit view with Richard here just a second. So if you get motion sickness, folks, you might not want to watch as we come around. You see him just kind of overcorrected, and then right there, from 100 and something miles an hour to 0 almost instantly. He got something. Bubba Winningham, he did. Well, like I said, interviewing for the stage win, and well, that's what happens. The broadcaster's curse strikes again. Of course, he is going to have to use that fast repair if he wants to stay in it. How is Mr. Bubba Winningham doing out there tonight? He got to be busy. Oh, man. That was definitely a hard impact. Looks like we've got several drivers that have Steve Broadus down on pit road. Eric Laurie still down on pit road. Dude Conrad has taken his truck behind the wall, but I don't know if Steve Broadus is going to be able to get back out, or Eric Laurie. Shane Ward's pretty damaged, so I don't know if he is going to be able to come back out. Eric Laurie is coming off of pit road, so as well as Steve Rada. Shane Ward, again, I don't know if he's going to have enough to we got guys still coming off of pit road and down pit road. Looks like Les Levy may have taken his truck behind the wall as well. It looks like Alex Gifford is out. Les Levy's out. Dude Conrad is out. The lights on the pace truck are out. A lot of outs out there right now. I say that past 5 times. Glad to hear that you're making those gains, Bubba. Yeah, it was a pretty long day for me too. I went into work early so I could get off early to get home to make sure I had everything up and going with the stream and all my graphics and everything. I should have done it Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon, but turn my little fan on in here, folks. It's getting warm in this office. Both these computers going as we get ready to go back green. That Chevyland green flag up in the air and back out once again. We are on the loud pedal. Here we go. Lap 35 or 34, I should say, of 84. We come into turns 1 and 2. Peter DeBorja on the outside with Zach Workman, Vicente Guerrero, Dave Hunt, Brian Wang. Looks like that is Adam Akilday. And down on the inside, you got Jimmy Reynolds, Rick Sanchez, Jeff Crosby Jr. The 16 of Nate Warren and the 12 of Zach Fritch. The Josh Ball peeking out towards the third lane, maybe setting himself up for that corner entrance. So he is behind the 82 of Dan Harrington. Now Zach Workman going. Oh, looked like Zach was going to try to go down with Vicente. And a hard shot there by the 53 of Dave Hunt on to Zach Workman. But Vicente Guerrero down on the inside with the 42 of Peter DeBorja and Jimmy Reynolds. Josh Ball getting pushed out to the outside. We're 3 wide right here. Ball on the outside doors with the 82 of Dan Harrington in the middle. And then Zach Fritch down on the bottom. Josh Ball does drop it back down, but look at this outside line. Try to see who that is. That is the 04 of Mark Mann. He is a lap down, but he's trying to get his lap back. We see a lot of guys making some aggressive moves. Kenny Riddle drops it down to the inside line, gets a little bit loose. Here comes Mark Mann, the 81 of Dustin Logston, and the 71 of Sean McCara. They're going to pick up that one of Josh Ball. Josh Ball's going to stay out to the outside, going to try to get in that draft, but we got a wreck happening right there with, that is the 53 of Dave Hunt involved in that. Looks like Dave may have blown his motor with that impact to the outside wall. We're going to take a look here, folks, and see what happened. Oh, Netco between the 17 and the 19. Got the 19 loose. And then that sent major Netco going on tonight, because you can see the 19 going through the 53. Dave Hunt back out, hits the hard to the outside again. And we're going to see a puff of smoke here, right there, coming out of Dave Hunt's car, truck, which tells me he may have blown his engine. We go back live here. We look at, it looks like he did have to tow. Vicente Guerrero, your leader. Peter DeBorja second, Jimmy Reynolds third, Rick Sanchez fourth, and Jeff Crosby Jr. rounding out your top 5. Unfortunately, guys, netcode is a thing here with iRacing, and you just seen what happened as the netcode on Zach Workman and the 17 of Jimmy Reynolds. Mark Mann's going to go ahead and stay out. He is the lucky dog, it looks like, so he's going to get his lap back. Kenny Reel, Stephen Luttrell both staying out. Richard Kuhn staying out. Andrew Schroeder staying out as well. Looks like we have lost Alex Gippin, Les Levy, Shane Ward, and Dude Conrad are out of the race. while they're doing this long pace lap, folks, we're going to step aside just a second. Give me a few minutes and I will be right back. All right, folks, we are back just in time as the lights on the pace truck go out. We're going to get ready to get this thing started back here. Lap 39 of 84, stage 50-51. We'll find out who it will be our stage 2 winner. Looks like Zach Workman's coming off of pit road with Jimmy Reynolds. Still on the lead lap there. Dave Hunt shows 2 laps down. 1 lap down, I should say. Steve Corsack 1 lap down. Kenny Real is a lap down. Stephen Luttrell lap down. Richard Coons a lap down. Schroeder lap down. Eric Laurie 2 laps down. Steve Rada 2 laps down. And it looks like Alex Gippen, Les Levy, Shane Ward, and Dude Conrad have taken their trucks behind the wall. We come out of turn number 4, coming down the front straightaway. Pace truck will dive off down to pit road. There's a Chevrolet green flag in the flagman's hand once again. Chevrolet green flag is waving, folks. Back on the loud pedal. Here we go. 16-8 Warren looking out there. Right in front of Adam Shield. Dustin Logston back up into the mix as well. Kind of looking back through here. We get back here about David Overstreet. Kind of single file. Kenny Real right there. Andy Brigante, Mark Mann, Zach Workman, Jimmy Reynolds, Gabe Butler back here in the back. Right now, Vicente Guerrero is your leader. Jeff Crosby Jr. making a move to the outside to get in front of the 42 of Peter DeBorja. Here comes the 5 of Rick Sanchez on the bumper of the 14 of Guerrero. Now Sanchez moving to the outside, going to get around, try to get around the 14 of Guerrero. Got a good pusher with the 33 of Crosby Jr. behind him. A little bit of a wiggle coming out of the turn, but Sanchez going to get pushed out there. Not quite enough yet to get around Vicente as we come down the back stretch, coming into turns 3 and 4. Let's go ahead and go on board here with Vicente. As we come out of turns 4 down the front straightaway here, Little bit of a banking on the straightaways, as you can see. You're going to see this bump coming into turn number 1 here as Zach Fritsch drops it down in the lead in front of Vicente Guerrero. And guys coming out of the turn, getting a little bit out of line there. Now Sanchez dropping it down to the inside in front of Fritsch. Crosby Jr. going to be stuck on the outside, but he does have help. Now, whether or not that they can make up that ground, Josh Ball right on the bumper of the 14. Vicente going to the outside. Now he's going to try to get a push from the 33. Get back up to the front. Back and forth in the tight ball game right now. We hit lap 43, folks. Winding it down to the end of stage 2. Vicente getting a good push from the 33. Don't know if he's going to have enough just yet to get down in front of the 5, but he does. Coming down the back straightaway. Now the run on the outside. Really working. You see the side by side. Getting some of that side draft. Trying to slow down that inside line. We come in to turns 1 and 2. Coming out of 1 and 2, I think. Coming to the back stretch here. No, we're coming to the front stretch. We hit lap 44. That's the bad thing about iRacing Super Speedway, folks. The corners aren't numbered, and when you're just watching these guys go around, kind of lose sight of where we're at. Now they're coming out of 1 and 2, coming down the front straightaway. Looking at a spotter view here. From the top of the grandstands is the 12 of Fritsch, really on the bumper hard of the 14 of Vicente Guerrero. Now Sanchez back and forth battling it out. We're going to go ahead and get our battle for position up here. Now Guerrero getting a really good push from the 12 out front. Oh, got to be careful about that side to side, especially when you're touching. You can scrape that bumper and get them loose. Come down the front straightaway into turns 1 and 2. Once again, here we go. We got some action going on back here. Lynn McNeese on the outside of the 15 and the 83. Got that 81 of Dustin Logston. Now they drop it back into that second line. These 3 cars, trucks right here. Sanchez, Crosby Jr., DeBorja. Really getting a good draft and push right there. So they come out of the turns here, into the turns. They come out of turns 3 and 4, back down to the front straightaway here. Back 46 coming up. Let's go ahead and do this while we got time. A little bit of crank it up for you. We're going to watch these guys go around and get a little bit of sight and sound of the track here at iRacing Super Speedway. crank it up for you guys here tonight on MaxspeedTV. Get Stephen Lane up in the booth if you're just joining us. Well, this is the OP Premier Series here on Monday night. We are 2 races away. Well, 1 race after tonight. Our top 16 drivers will be as Vicente Guerrero may be out of fuel, dropping it down to the apron. I believe he may be out of fuel, folks. As we hit lap 40 or lap 50, so we got the white flag out for the stage. Right now, Zach Fritsch, your leader. And we're going to have a caution. Oh, big wreck. That's going to end the stage, though. Looks like Zach Fritsch will be the winner of stage 2. Let's go back up here and see was on Josh Ball. Let's go on a chase view here, folks, real quick. See, Josh hit that bump. Well, that sends him up and gets net code with the 5 of Rick Sanchez. And then, well, you can see what happened after that. That collected the 5 of Sanchez. The 33 of Jeff Crosby Jr. as he goes, and Sanchez going for a wild ride. As well as the 33, the 82 of Dan Harrington. I was trying to avoid it, was hoping they was going to slide down, but Josh Ball stayed up close to that wall. Well, Zach Fritsch looks like will be your stage 2 winner. Going to keep an eye on them, wait, because they should be getting ready to come back down pit road. Once he gets done with this pit stop, we'll bring Zach up to the booth. Zach is part of Team FSR in that 12 machine. Wait till he gets done with his pit stop here real quick. Oh, passes his pit box, and he is going to go ahead and take at least right side tires. His right side's up. We'll see if he takes left sides. Nope, he just does right. And so we will get that 12 up here to the booth real quick. Probably knew it was fixed to happen, so he probably wasn't talking to anybody. Zach Fritsch, your stage 2 winner. Congratulations, Zach. Buddy, I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of netcode going on out there tonight.
Yeah, there is. It's been kind of crazy. That's what this track's known for, but still a super fun race. I mean, shoot, you get to broadcast a race that they're going over, what, 220 miles an hour in these turns and straightaways.
Just about. I know we're getting into the 190s for sure, man, but we noticed you took right side tires. Now, this track is I don't know, it's kind of known maybe for eating up the right sides a little bit.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, this huge banking that you got here in this turn, if you come out here with 80%, 70% right side tires, you're bound to be one of those guys that end up drifting up there at the bottom of a turn all the way up to the top lane. So you got to make sure them right side tires are pretty fresh, definitely, for sure.
Well, all in all, though, I mean, I know the track temperature was a little bit lower than what we kind of run sometimes in the 80s. Is that kind of helping you guys keep these trucks a little bit cooler tonight?
Yeah, like I said, it ain't doing too bad. I mean, I was ended up pushing Vince and Rick all right there at the end that you seen, and I was pretty much laying on them the entire front stretch and back stretch, and was able to breathe it just enough in the turns to where I could cool the truck down enough to where, prepare for the next back stretch, and then push that all the way as well, and then just repeat.
Now, I don't know if you had any comms with Vicente. Did he run out of fuel?
Yeah, he did.
Oh.
He ended up, he was trying to take a gamble, making sure that, like, if there was going to be a caution, he might have won it if there was a caution early, but he definitely tried to take a gamble and see what he could do to see how far he could go, and yeah, he ended up running out right there on that back stretch.
Oh, man. Well, you guys are fixing to go back green, Zach. Congratulations on stage 2, buddy. Good luck with the rest of the race.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Lane.
All right, we'll get him back down there to his race room. Man, I hate that for Vicente. Running out of fuel. Gamble did not pay off for him. Let's get some stuff off of the screen here. He had a good run going, and I think Zach would have been content on pushing him to the stage win, but man, that just didn't pan out. But I gotta say something here. Lynn McNeese, your biggest mover right now, up 31 spots. Currently in a P2 right now, so we'll see what happens. Ooh, Josh Ball. Ooh, had to make an aggressive move to get in front. Some Chevrolet green flag is back out. Dustin Logston got on the bumper up to 12, the 16 and 8 Warren, and that 84 of Nerditudes on the outside right now, trying to catch up to the 12 machine of Rich. Kind of looking back through here as we go on a chopper view. Gabe Butler back here, Vicente Guerrero, we're single file. Andy Brigante looked like he was, nope, that ain't Andy Brigante, that is, who was that? Is that the 5 Sanchez? That is the 5 of Rick Sanchez making a move to the outside. He is trying to get caught back up, get back up to the front. Josh Ball on the outside, making it 3 wide. Is Sanchez going to go out with him? Nope, but the 16 or the 36 Stephen Luttrell does. Now the 5 catches up with the ball. They're going to stay on that 3rd line. That's the one of Josh Ball gets into the bumper of the 36. 36 kind of hugging down to that 2nd lane, trying to get some of that air off of that inside line of that 2nd lane, I should say. Stephen Luttrell is a lap down, so he's trying to get his lap back, trying to get it back the hard way, as he is on the outside with Josh Ball and Rick Sanchez. But they have got a run on that 3rd line right now, trying to get it around to the front. The 16 and 8 Warren kind of coming up. Ooh, the 17 of Jimmy Reynolds is leaking out. Nate Warren on the inside, Lynn McNeese down on the bottom lane is Stephen Luttrell, Josh Ball, the 5 of Rick Sanchez. And that does look like, let's see who that is the 027 Steve Corsick and the 19 of Zach Workman out on the outside line. Now you see Luttrell and Ball dropping all the way down from the 3rd lane to that 1st lane. Stephen Luttrell, Josh Ball, they're trying to get there. Josh Ball is still down. Say they're still considered a lap down, even though they're on the lap leading to that group. If they get passed again, though, that will put them back a lap down. As we have the 5 of Sanchez looking to the outside. The 027 of Steve Corsick, but just not enough ump to get around everybody. As Brian Wayne kind of peeking out, maybe getting a little bit of air into that truck. Those 5 trucks there on that second lane, nose to tail. Whoa. Stephen Luttrell pushing Lynn McNeese up to the high side. Josh Ball going to the middle lane. The 0-5, you know, you see the 2, but that is the 0-5 of Brian Wayne. Guys are getting a little bit dicey here. 58 up 84. These guys trying to get their lap back. You know, they're still racing hard. Ooh, where is... Looking back, Lynn McNeese falling back. We looking at a 4 wide, another 3 wide going on here. That is the 53 of Dave Hunt and the 13 of Andy Brigante on the outside. The 5 of Rick Sanchez trying to get to the bumper of the 84. Trying to get a run on that line right there. Up here, up front, battle for first right now between Zach Bridges and Will and Sean McCarr in the 71. The old 27 drops it down in front of the 36. It looked pretty tight right there, but he was able to get it done. A little bit of a door between the 46 and the 36. That's David Overstreet. 27, of course, jumping out to that outside line. There he is. Sean McCarr back out to the front though. We're single file on that lower line. Here comes the 84 of Lynn McNeese and the 5 of Rick Sanchez on that outside line trying to get something going. The 5 of Sanchez right on the bumper of the 84. Now Josh Ball going way out, but we've got a caution out here, folks. 25 laps to go. Let's take a look here, see what happened. We can see it took me back here to David Overstreet and Nate Warren. Oh, David right there, the 82 on the inside. That is looks like it's going to be another case of net code. So let's get on a chase here and see. I think they would have touched anyway, but that got David spun around. And he goes up into the side of Nate Warren. And David Overstreet hard into that outside wall. And then net code there. Gabe Butler getting a little piece of it. That was net code with the 13 of Andy Brigante. So 33 of Jeff Crosby Jr. drops it down to the apron. We'll go back live here. Looking at our top 10, though, right now, McCarr is your leader. Workman in second. Pritchett third. Lynn McNeese in fourth. Dustin Logston fifth. Brian Wang in sixth. Nate Warren in seventh. Doug Johnson eighth. Dan Harrington ninth. Jimmy Reynolds rounding out your top 10. Again, netcode's been a real issue tonight as we've seen several of the cautions come out because of netcode. Like Zach said, it's that's just part of this track. It's known for that. As your leaders are coming down pit road, Josh Paul, Stephen Luttrell, Kenny Reel, Richard Kuhn, all staying out. Going to try to get back on the lead lap as well as Dave Hunt. Rick Sanchez down on pit road, Jeff Crosby Jr. on pit road. Stephen Pete Forsyth coming off of pit road. Eric Laurie down on pit road, as well as Mr. Steve Rada. Well, with 23 to go, folks, we are getting close to the end of this race. And again, we've got one more race in the regular season before we get to the playoffs. A lot of our leagues are there. We had our second race of the playoffs for Sunday night, last night. One more race to determine the season champion. We're going to go ahead and step aside while these guys get ready to get lined back up. We're going to hear from our green flag sponsor once again, Chevyland in Shreveport, Louisiana, Chevyland.com. Go check them out. Of course, let them know if you buy something from them. Just let them know MaxspeedTV TV sent you, and they will take good care of you down there. Bubba Winningham, big shout out to you and Chevyland for all you do for all of these leagues. Once again, buddy, thank you very much. But hang tight. We'll be right back, folks.
Sizzling summer savings are yours for the taking at North Louisiana's #1 dealer, Chevyland. Save now before the price adjustments kick in. Get up to $9,000 off MSRP on select new Silverado models or incredible 0% financing on select new Chevrolet vehicles. And the Chevyland Advantage, 12 months, no charge scheduled maintenance. Get the best deals at North Louisiana's #1 dealer, Chevyland. Your Silverado headquarters. Online at Chevyland.com.
As we get back, lights on the pace truck are out with 22 laps to go. Will we see a short run, or will we see these guys try to take it as far as they can? They only get about 13 laps out of a tank of fuel. So there is definitely one more pit stop to be had before the end of the race. Now, we only got 2 GWCs here on Monday night, so if they can't get it done within the 2 GWCs, and when the second caution comes out on the GWC attempts, then that will be the end of the race. I don't know if you guys, some of you guys tuned in last night, the issues we were having, but I got to give props. It was quick thinking by Jeremy to let me share his iRacing screen on Discord, and that allowed us to catch the ending of last night's race. I do apologize about that, but when you're at the mercy of technology, there's not much you can do. So we're getting ready to go back green. Chevyland green flag in the air. Back out waving once again. Here we go. Lap 22, 21 laps left to go here tonight at the iRacing Super Speedway with the OP Premier Series here, presented by Buttkicker. Yeah, it was, like I said, Bubba, it was quick thinking on his part. I tried everything I could to get back into iRacing, as we're back 3 wide. Lim McNeese getting pushed out to the outside of the 71 of Sean McCara. 81 Dustin Logston down on the inside out front. Sean McCara trying to make a run back up. Now Lynn's got some help with him at the 13 of Andy Brigante. But Andy going up really high. Here comes the 04 of Mark Mann as Lim McNeese does drop it back down into that second lane. Try to stay in the draft. Back up to the front though. Dustin Logston getting a good push by the 85. Adam Gilday. Haven't talked about much about Adam tonight. He's just been kind of hanging out in the back. They're trying to get something going. The 17 Jimmy Reynolds right there on the inside. But Sean McCarr dropping back was in the lead. But right now we are still, our biggest mover though is that 84 of Lim McNeese. Oh, I take that back. The 83 of Doug Johnson up 25 spots. Here comes the 15. Oh, Doug Johnson blinking out. Can't stay on him. That is the 15 to Jeff Crosby Sr. on the second lane, but man, that bottom lane right now is moving as we are 20 to go here. Crosby Sr. drops it down to the inside. We are single file. Logston is your leader. Adam Kilday there in second. Zente Guerrero third. Excuse me. Adam Kilday looking to the outside, but we have got a caution here, folks. Not sure what that was. I know Doug Johnson was blinking out. It looks like Doug got down on that apron. Right there. You see him, he hit that bump, but he was down on the apron when he hit it. And that just lifted him up, got him loose. He slides back down to the apron, checked up by the Nate Warren, but at this point, Doug is out of control. And the 5 of Rick Sanchez just pushed Nate Warren up. Kind of got him back under control. And then right down again, he was right there with Sanchez, and oh, Doug up and over on his lid. Slides down the track on his side. And the 16 of Warren taps him, gets him back on his wheels. And I think he might have got hit again. We're going to watch this here. Excuse me. Oh, Doug's got some major damage going on with that truck. He is going to tow it back to pit road. Well, looking at our field right now, Dustin Logston is coming out of pit road on as your leader. Adam Kilday second, Vicente Guerrero third, Brian Wayne fourth, Jimmy Reynolds fifth, Lynn McNeese sixth, David Overstreet in seventh, Jesse Crosby Sr. in eighth, Peter DeBorja ninth, and Josh Ball rounding out your top 10. Excuse me, folks, I got a tickle in my throat. With 18 laps to go, I don't know if, again, they're only getting about 13 laps on a tank of fuel. So even if they go in and took fuel again, they're not going to have enough to make it to the end of the race. So "17 laps to go." I believe that was Jeff Crosby Jr. getting the waiver round there, the lucky dog to get back on the lead lap. As we get side by side, that is Logston on the inside, Adam Kilday to his outside, Vicente Guerrero and Brian Wayne making up that row 2. Jimmy Reynolds, Lynn McNeese, row 3. Right now, row 4 is going to be David Overstreet, Peter DeBorja. Row 5, Jeff Crosby, a senior, and Josh Ball, Zach Fritch, and Andrew Schroeder right there as well. Guys, we are 2 away from 10 likes. If you're out there watching and you haven't hit that like button, let's see if we can get at least 10 likes out there tonight, guys. 16 viewers right now. Do appreciate everybody, though, tuning in. Belva out there. Bubba Winningham, thank you, guys. William Luttrell, Jeff Brown, Moose Pie. Bog was out there as well. I do appreciate everybody tuning in. And like Peter was talking about, our thoughts and prayers are still with the family of Randall. We are still thinking about you guys. If you're watching, just know that our thoughts and prayers are with you and your family. As we get ready to go back green, Chevy Lane, green flag, back out once again. Here we go. About 16 laps or so. And I'm thinking we're going to probably see probably around lap 10 or so. We'll start seeing some pit stops. They don't have enough to make it at 16 laps to go when they're only getting about 13 laps of fuel, unless another caution comes out, which very well could. Keep an eye on everything. You're by yourself. It's kind of hard to look at, see everything that's going on. Just depends on how these guys handle that bump. Oh, we're looking at the 071 of Eric Morey getting pushed to the outside from that bump. It looks like he's coming back down almost into the side of the 03 Steve Rada. Johnson has taken this car behind the wall. Adam Kilday out to the front. Dustin Logston second. Brian Wang in third. Vicente Guerrero in a 4. Lynn McNeese trying to get something going on to the outside, but nobody going with him. He is falling back. He does drop it down in front of his teammate. That's the 53 of Dave Hunt. Looking back up to the front, Adam Kilday on the low side with Dustin Logston, Vicente Guerrero, Jimmy Reynolds. And then on the outside, you have Brian Wayne, Peter DeBorja, Josh Ball, Andrew Schroeder, Stephen Latrell, and Sean McCarra. Brian Wayne getting a good push out to the front. They're going to both drop it down, Peter and Brian, down to the inside. That's going to leave Josh Ball, Andrew Schroeder, both out on the outside with the 36 of Stephen Latrell and the 71 of Sean McCarra. 82 of Dan Harrington right there with them as well. 14 to go, folks. What is going to happen? Are we going to see guys risk it, stay out a little bit longer? Are we going to see them pit early on a short run? What are we going to see? Is Stephen Latrell all over the bumper of the 48? Stephen trying to stay in line. Big wiggle. That forces Stephen out to the outside. No help. He will be losing some spots here. Now he's going to drop it back down to that second lane, try to stay in the draft. Again, this is a draft track. If you get out of the draft, then you're pretty much done. As we hit coming up on lap 12, so 12 to go. See guys starting to get down in that single file, down at the bottom. Now, of course, they do have the rule here that you have to, if you're going to pit, you have to be established on that bottom lane. You cannot pit from anywhere else but the bottom lane here at OB Monday night. Whoa, big move. Vicente Guerrero into the inside wall. That gets Adam Kilday loose. But we're going to have another caution, and that's going to change the whole landscape of everything. Stephen Latrell looking to get a piece of it as well. Let's take a look here. We've seen, and I don't like to put me all the way to Steve Rada, but we're going to see Vicente Guerrero here going to make that move down to the inside lane. I don't think he quite had enough to clear the 05 of Brian Wang. Josh Ball right there. As Brian is getting the run, and nope, wasn't quite clear of the 05. And you see him get caught on that left bumper quarter, and that sent him down to the wall. And then Adam Kilday right there was trying to avoid, and then he gets loose because he's seen the 81 on his outside, and then Jimmy Reynolds came in and tried to get it shut down to keep from getting Adam out any more out of shape, but that just spun him around. Adam slides back up the track. Oh, Steve Rudda, nowhere for Steve to go. Stephen Luttrell was trying to miss all that. Hits the outside wall. And it looks like everybody else pretty much got around Adam and the guys down on the low line. It looks like we've got a car up here. That is Stephen Luttrell with smoke coming out of his truck. Well, guys, that's going to change this landscape up as they come down a pit road. It's like Josh Ball opted to stay out, as well as Zach Fritsch. So, excuse me. I don't know if that was quite wise or not. Again, of course, we were watching the replay, so they may have snuck down on pit road without me knowing. We're going to see what happens, though, here, folks, as we get ready here to get stacked back up with 10 laps to go. It'll be 9 to go at the line. The lights on the pace truck should go out when we cross the start-finish line here for these final 9 laps. Eric Laurie back down pit road. Mark Mann coming down pit road as well. As we get stacked up side by side, Josh Ball, Zach Fritsch, Brian Wang, Peter DeBorja, Sean McCara, Lynn McNeese, Jeff Crosby Sr., Dustin Logston, Richard Kuhn, and Kenny Reel. Your top 10. Mark Mann and Eric Laurie coming off of pit road. Now Rick Sanchez did get his lap back, so he will be back on the lead lap. We have 27 cars left in the field here, folks, to finish up this race. trying to remember where we're going to be at next week. I want to say we're going to be at Talladega, but I could be wrong. Well, here we go, coming out of turn number 4. That pace truck will dive off down to the pit road. Getting ready for the Chevyland green flag. It is in the flagman's hand. They're going to cross this double white line. Chevyland green flag back out on the loud pedal. 8 to go at the line here, folks. It'll be an 8-lap shootout. Zach Fritz, your leader, is coming off of that restart. Get a good push by the 42 as the 11 and Kenny Reel jumping to the outside lane with the 84 and the 15 of Jeff Crosby Sr. Josh Ball, Brian Wayne, Sean McCarr, Dustin Logston. It looks like Nate Warren, Dave Hunt. We're going to have another caution as the 46 and the 33 get tangled up behind them here. Let's take a look at this real quick here, folks. If it let me. 46 looks like, I think he had this happen last night too. It almost looked like the same thing where his screen froze and he just makes a right turn. Well, he's really loose right there, and well, wasn't much he could do at that point. Jeff Crosby Jr. was right there. Adam Kilday trying to get it shut down. Somehow, well, he gets net coated right there as well. Guys, net coat has been unreal tonight. Do not know why this track does that. Zach Fritz, your leader. Josh Ball, second. Peter DeBorja, third. Brian Wayne in fourth. Sean McCarr in fifth. Right now, we are 7 to go, so we are still under regulation. Have not hit that OP overtime just yet. These guys are saving fuel, but a little bit of juking going on there. Looking like they were going to pit. We'll see if the lights on the pace truck go out. They do not. They are still on, so we'll have another lap of pacing here. While they're doing that, we're going to take a short pause here from talking, but we will be back here in just a minute.
Sizzling summer savings are yours for the taking at North Louisiana's #1 dealer, Chevyland. Save now before the price adjustments kick in. Get up to $9,000 off MSRP on select new Silverado models or incredible 0% financing on select new Chevrolet vehicles. And the Chevyland Advantage, 12 months, no charge, scheduled maintenance. Get the best deals at North Louisiana's #1 dealer, Chevyland. Your Silverado headquarters. Online at Chevyland.com.
Well, as we come back, folks, that pace truck light should go out. We will get side by side, get them stacked up once again. Hopefully finish this out on green. We'll see what happens. Zach Rich, Josh Ball, Peter DeBorja, Brian Wayne, Sean McCara, your top 5. We are down to 26 drivers. Nope, 27 drivers. With Eric Laurie being 2 laps down, Jeff Crosby Jr. a lap down. We come down the back stretch here. Pace truck will dive off down to the pit road. With 5 laps to go, 4 laps to go at the line to finish this race out. Again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Not a lot of chat going on out there tonight, but that is okay, as we are watching these guys run around this big iRacing super speedway. It is 9:17 Central, 10:17 on the East Coast. I know these guys are probably getting tired. I know I am. Of course, we will be off for a few nights. Be back Thursday night for the J&K lift services with Josh and Jeremy, JM Squared, calling that action Thursday night. And then I will be live as well. Double broadcast here on MaxspeedTV with the OP Throwback Series. Chevyland green flag in the air, out and waving once again. Here we go on the loud pedal. Maybe a little bit of checkup by Rich, trying to catch Josh Ball napping or trying to jump the restart. They are back going though. 4 laps to go. We see, I seen a car out on the outside. That was Andrew Schroeder, but with no help, he will fall back. He does. Oh, Josh Ball going around. He is going to collect several drivers. That's Jeff Crosby Sr. up and over. This is the big, one of the big ones, if not the big one here tonight, folks. That all started up here with Josh Ball and the 05 of Brian Wang. Let me get my camera turned around here on my chase view. And we'll see what started all of this. Right there. A bad push got into the back of the one of Josh Ball. As he scrapes across the bumper, that gets Josh loose. He goes tail first into the outside wall, comes back down, hits Jeff Crosby Sr., Kenny Reel, Nate Warren, Dustin Logston. Adam Kilday getting tagged by the 48 of Schroeder. Guys are trying to keep it under control. That's going to change our top 5 up quite a bit. Zach Fritz, now you're still your leader. Peter DeBorja second. Lynn McNeese in third. Brian Wayne going down to pit road. Sean McCara in fourth. Kenny Reel in fifth. Dave Punt sixth. Steve Corsick in seventh. Jimmy Reynolds eighth. Andy Brigante ninth. Daniel Harrington rounding out your top 10. Well, folks, this will be GWC attempt number 1. Again, they had 2 attempts tonight, so we'll see what happens. Jeff Crosby Sr. is coming off a pit road. Josh Ball still down on pit road, as well as Jeff Crosby Jr., Richard Kuhn, Nate Warren, and Andrew Schroeder. Looks like they're trying to get as much damage as they could possibly get fixed to stay on before they go lap down, to try to stay on that lead lap, as Andrew Schroeder is coming off a pit road right now. And so is the 47 of Richard Kuhn. Zach Fritch is looking to get his second win of the season. We'll look at our standings real quick. Or he's looking to get his first win of the season. I thought he already had one. Peter DeBorja is trying to get a good finish as the lights on the pace truck do go out. He's trying to get that good finish to get him a little bit higher above that cut line. Lynn McNeese trying to get a good finish as well. Going to need a top 5 to get him above the cut line. They come out of turn number 2, coming down the back stretch. A GWC attempt number 1. We're going to try to keep it up here on the front. Dave Hunt, quite a bit of damage to the front of his truck, so I don't know if that's going to hurt him with this arrow or not. Still being in the draft, we'll have to see how his truck reacts once we go back to speed. Seen a light out my window. We got a pretty bright moon out here in Oklahoma tonight. Kind of caught me off guard. I wasn't really expecting to see that. The pace truck down to pit road once again. Zach Rich with the race control start. Chevy Lane green flag out. GWC intent number 1. Here we go. On the loud pedals for Rich Bakara. Getting a good run on the outside. Peter DeBorja on the inside. Lynn McNeese right on the bumper. And we've got a yellow right off the bat, folks. Looks like Zach Workman involved. I don't know if it was a check up there or what, but let's take a look here as we get on a far chase. Looked like there might have been a little bit of a checkup, but the 81 of Dustin Logston right there. I don't know if Zach missed a gear, started in the wrong gear or what, but that got Workman around right there, getting involved with Dustin Logston. That sent him up in the wall, and that brought out a caution. So this will be bringing us to our second GWC attempt. Zach Fritch still out front. Peter DeBorja in second. Sean McCarr third. Lynn McNeese fourth. Kenny Real rounding out your top 5. And then you got Dave Hunt, Jimmy Reynolds, Steve Korsek, Dan Harrington, Andy Brigante. Your top 10. Vicente Guerrero in 11th. Then you got Stephen Luttrell, Adam Kilday, Mark Mann, Gabe Butler, Rick Sanchez, David Overstreet, Dustin Logston, Jeff Crosby Sr., Jeff Crosby Jr. running out 20. And then we have Richard Kuhn, Andrew Schroeder, Brian Wang, Nate Warren, Josh Ball, and Zach Workman. finishing out the 26 car field. Again, looks like we've lost Eric Laurie, Steve Rada, Doug Johnson, Alex Gippen, Les Levy, Shane Ward, and Dude Conrad. Zach Fritch coming down pit road, so he's going to give up track position. Maybe not enough fuel to make it, or making sure he has enough, I'm not sure. Jeff Crosby Jr. 's down in his pit box, as well as Josh Ball and Zach Workman. So your pole sitter, Peter DeBorja, he is back out to the front once again. GWC attempt number 2. This will be it. If they don't go green and the caution comes back out, well, that will end the race. When the caution comes out, your top 3 at the time the caution comes out will be your podium winners. So we come out of turn 4, we'll cross the start and finish line. Lights on the pace truck should go out. We'll get these guys stacked up once again. Again, thank you to our fans out there tuning in tonight. Do appreciate every single one of you. Glad you guys were able to join us tonight. Hopefully, there's been a little bit better racing than what we've had here recently. Seems like there's been quite a few cautions, but this is really not an easy. I mean, it's a big track. There's a lot of room, but the bumps in the corners coming into the turns really cause issues. Shane Ward out there in the chat says he really hates this track. Yeah, it's been getting a lot of people, Shane. Most of our cautions has been from Netcode, bud, and you know, I hate it for you. Well, thank you, brother. I'm glad you're back out here, dude. I know it's been a while since we seen you. Glad to see you out there on the track. You know, you guys might see me again with the Nerditudes broadcast on Wednesday night. I may go out there. I may start in the back. Like I said, I don't want to interfere with those guys that are racing for the championship. Me too, dude. Chevy Lane green flag out against GWC attempt number 2 as we're back on the loud pedal. Sean McCarr with a good restart there. Got the 11 Kitty Real right behind him. I've been battling a migraine all day, and it's just it's starting to get worse right now. But we see that is the 027 Steve Korsek. Jumping up to the high side. Peter DeBorja down on the low side with the 84 of Lynn McNee. Sean McCarr getting a good run with the 11 of Kenny Brill on that second lane, but the third lane is trying to form up. We'll see what happens as we get back around here. That is the 15 of Jeff Crosby Sr. To the outside with the 81 of Dustin Logston, the 36 of Steve Latrell, the 47 of Richard Coon. As we come back to the start-finish line. White flag in the air, folks. Here we go. Final lap. Whatever happens is going to happen at this point. Sean McCara, your leader. Kenny Rail down on the inside. Vicente Guerrero right there in a third. So we got guys going up to the high side. We're going to keep an eye on the front, though, as Kenny Rail is getting a good push there by the 42 of Peter DeBorja. There's guys going everywhere right now trying to jockey for position. It's 12 of Zach Rich trying to get caught back up to that lead group. Sean McCarr still out front. Vicente Guerrero, a little bit of a block there by Macara on Vicente, but Vicente back up to the second lane, getting pushed by the 85 of Adam Kildare out of turn number 4, side by side. Vicente Guerrero, taking out a big wreck right at the end. Vicente Guerrero going to get the win. Adam Kildare second, Jimmy Reynolds in third. Big wreck happening right there at the end, folks, but what a finish. Great win by Vicente Guerrero. Adam Kildare in second. Jimmy Reynolds pulling out that P3 finish. Real quick, we're going to do this the hard way here. We're going to look at this rewind. Coming to the start-finish line. As we see Gabe Butler and Zach Fritch. We'll see Gabe. Let's get on Gabe. Where is Gabe at? Right there. Let's get on the far chase. We're going to see Gabe Butler looking to the outside, coming out of turn number 4. He is going to look to the outside, but he gets loose going out there. Zach Fritch right there. We're trying to straighten him up. Gabe just gets out of sort. 4 wide, down into the 12, down into the 42, 71, the 11. Oh, the 36 was getting a push by the 46. 46 up into the wall. Guys going up in the air, end over end. Oh, my God. Big wreck. Collects pretty much the majority of the field. Rick Sanchez finishing in 6th. That was a massive, massive crash. But we're going to get with our top 3. Give me just a second, folks. We'll be right back for our MaxSpeed TV post-race interviews. Hang tight. All right, folks, we are back. We have caught up with our top 3. Let me get some of this stuff off of the screen here. We'll start with our 3rd place finisher here tonight. We'll bring him down to the broadcast booth and visit with Jimmy Reynolds. Man, 5 spots gained up into that P3. What a wild finish tonight, buddy. But awesome job on your P3, brother.
Hey, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. That was very unexpected, to say the least.
Well, you know, there was a lot of net code tonight, Jimmy, and I know that plays havoc with you guys as drivers. But overall, I mean, I feel it was a pretty decent race.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad race. There was some net code. I actually got in. Yeah, I took the blame for an accident earlier on. I did slide up. There was some net code between me and Workman, but I think I'd hit him anyway. But it's just this track. The speeds are so fast, and it's they're not really, it's just a unique track. So it is what it is. It's fun to race in the trucks. There's other cars that it's not so much fun to race with, but I didn't expect to get third for sure.
Well, that was a big crash right there at the end. I mean, it looked like Gabe went to go to the third lane, and when he got out there, I don't know if it was just a steering issue, overcorrection, too aggressive on the input or what, but he got sideways, and well, that just caused a big pile up. You got tagged a little bit, but I don't think it got you so bad out of shape where you wasn't able to hang on to it.
No, because I was right up against the wall, so I just kind of kept it off the wall and kept it straight, and kept the gas in, of course, because it's the last lap, and I was surprised. I was surprised I got out to third. So.
Well, awesome job. Now we got. I mean, you're already locked in. You got a win on the season, and you're in the top 24 points. So I mean, you're already into the playoffs, but third place finish still's got to relieve a little bit of pressure off of you going in to that first round.
Oh, 100%, because I think I was 12th tonight, starting 12th in the points, I think. And to get some stage points and to get a third, that definitely helps.
Well, awesome job, Jimmy. I know you guys got the post-race campfire to go to. Not going to keep you any longer, sir. Any final thought, shout-out, things you want to give before you go celebrate?
Man, I just appreciate you broadcasting for us. I appreciate all the admins that help take care of the league. Appreciate my wife for letting me race as much as I do. And just appreciate the racers for showing up, because without them, there'd be no us.
Absolutely. Well, Jimmy, congratulations, buddy. Go celebrate. I'm going to go ahead and send you down to that post-race campfire so you guys can get ready to do your deal down there, buddy.
All right, appreciate it.
All right, well, that's going to bring us to our second-place finisher tonight. Get him into the broadcast booth, but always gets out of his car before we get ready to talk. Yeah, I caught you, didn't I, Adam?
Yeah, I gotta try to remember that.
It's all right, dude. We've got your picture up there of your truck and everything, but man, dude, you had a good run. You made up 13 spots and got lucky on those last, that last caution that got you back up to the front there. And man, you just made your run up there with Vicente and really looked like you were just pushing Vicente to the win.
I mean, kind of, sort of, yeah. So, I don't know, I felt like I owed that guy for last week, what transpired between us at 08. But, yeah, we freaking, the whole field died behind us, so, it's just me and him, so I tried to jockey it around left to right, see if we could do something coming to the line, but, yeah, there's no way we had enough there. So, yeah.
Well, dude, I mean, really, we were talking a little bit about it. Net code at this track has always been a kind of a big deal. Seen a lot of that tonight. I don't know. I don't remember you getting involved in any of it, but from your point of view, did you see some of that, or was it just did it look like just actual crashes?
It was like, seen vast majority, mostly crashes. There's a lot of like 3 deep, 4 deep pushing, especially here where you're trying all you can to get your lane to move and surge. So it's everyone fighting for as many spots as they can. So it's insane out here at ISS on iRacing, man.
It is. It is. Well, buddy, congratulations, man. Good points night for you tonight, and also good points for the team. But, we got one more race of the regular season, brother, and we get to the playoffs, which, you're locked in. I think you're actually leading the regular season points as well. So, awesome job on that. I know they say regular season don't really mean much. Everybody's out for that season champion, but it's always nice to have that accolade under your belt.
Yeah, I mean, there's still one more week, or what do we got?
Yeah, we got one more week of the regular season, and we get to the playoffs.
Yeah. I never targeted a freaking regular season points lead, but I mean, if we could come out with this one, that would be freaking awesome, have one of those under my belt, like you said, but yeah, we'll see what happens next Monday race. So
Yes, it is. Well, Adam, congratulations. We're not going to keep you any longer, brother. Going to go ahead and turn the mic over to you. Any final thoughts, shout-outs, thanks you want to give before you go celebrate, my man?
yeah, we'll do a shout out again to the team tonight. This Markman, Rick Sanchez, us three with Vendetta. We had pretty good finishes at the end, it looks like. So, yeah, we'll do a shout out to that. Do a shout out to Monday Premiere, admin group in OP, and everywhere else, all the guys that put on these awesome leagues for us regulars to come in and take advantage of on a nightly basis. So, thank you all for that entertainment you provide. And MaxspeedTV broadcast and Stephen Lane for your time you take out of your night to do the commentaries. And yeah, man, it's much appreciated.
Well, I appreciate that, Adam. Go celebrate. We're going to get you down there to the post-race campfire, brother, and we will catch you. You know what? I may run with you guys Wednesday night for the Grand National.
Right on. Yeah, we'll see you out there, dude.
All right, brother. We'll see you later.
All right, then.
All right. Well, let me go ahead and bring this guy in, man. What a finish by our race winner. That guy in the number 14, Vicente No Presta Guerrera. Man.
Oh, man. Tell me about it.
Brother, you have been battling and scratching and clawing trying to get that first win of the season. And, dude, you got it.
Thank you, man. Yeah, it's crazy how this finished. I didn't think I was going to be anywhere close to get nevertheless, a win, but a podium or something like that. And I'm like, I don't know what happened there at that restart, man. We just started rolling. I don't know if they got tangled up front or something, and then a couple cars either washed up or moved out of the way. I don't know.
Yeah, it looked like we had one. It looked like you had one car on the outside line jump high, but talking to Adam though, Vicente, he's like, yeah, I kind of felt like I owed that guy from last week. So he was right there with you all the way through the finish there, bud.
Yeah, for sure. I wouldn't. I don't think I would have won it without Kilday pushing me there. Yeah, it's. I felt like I've been in the hunt for a while now, trying to get my victory, my win to lock me into the playoffs. But honestly, I feel like I've been in the playoffs this last stint of this regular season just to be, have a chance to stay alive.
Well, I know the feeling. Again, I can't say enough about the group of guys that's here, and I'm going to say this again in front of everybody. When I got my first OP win, my first iRacing win, the first guy, folks, that keyed up was that number 14, and I'm going to tell you that means a lot to me, Vicente. I appreciate it. I love this group of guys, and man, I'm so proud that you finally got that win this season.
Thank you, Steven. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of the group of guys here in OP. Yeah, they're good guys, and you get familiar with everybody here, and they get to know you. I mean, not personally, but it's kind of personal, like on this racing style. But yeah, man, the amount of people that came on the comms and congratulated me and on the race, it feels good. Everybody, it feels good to be acknowledged and get congratulated.
Well, I know when I got my win, dude, I was shaking so bad, and I'm sure you probably are too. And I know you've got several wins under your belt anyway here with OP guys, but this one being so close to the end of the regular season and really needing it to get in, to lock yourself into the playoffs. I mean, your adrenaline and your nerves had to be shot coming out of that last lap.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, when I seen where I could push the mare down there and he could clear the bottom, he took it, and I seen that I had Kill Day behind me. I knew I had a shot. I knew I had a shot, and I was praying that Kill Day would stay with me and push me to that victory. And all I see in my rear mirror is a bunch of people getting wrecked out, and I was trying to, I think I seen Kill Day try to make a move or something like that. So I was trying to go back and forth, but at the same time, the truck, man, if you make too much wheel movements, man, you'll probably end up losing it.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of that. Well, Vicente, I'm not going to keep you much longer, brother. Congratulations. I know they got the post-race campfire going on, but before you go, though, brother, I'm going to turn the mic over to you. Any final thoughts, shout-outs, thanks you want to give before you go celebrate?
Yeah, I want to for sure thank you for broadcasting. I definitely can't wait to watch this one back. I want to thank OP and everybody that's the admins that what they do here, and all the fellow drivers here that race every week here. And I also want to thank my teammates, No Presta, and my family out in Arizona, my mom and dad, my grandma, and my aunt and uncles over there.
Well, before I do let you go, of course, we talked about the team name. You got jokers in this group. It's calling you guys the No Pasta now, so...
Yeah, no pasta. Yeah. I never said why I say no presta.
No, you didn't.
Okay, so this is a story before I leave here. The story is no presta is because a guy that I used to work with at my old company, my co-company that JM Equipment. Anyways, my coworker, Billy has a video. He used to say, he's a Portuguese, and he used to say no presta whenever something gets all messed up, or he had a problem or something and it was terrible, and he would just say no presta. So that's where I got that from. It was from Billy. So but rest in peace, Billy. He passed away last year, I believe.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
but yeah. So everybody knows where that came from. It was from Billy.
Well, we say it as a joke, but I know it means a lot to you. Even when they say it in a joking manner, bringing back those good memories. But, well, Vicente, congratulations again, my brother. Go celebrate, and you're locked in, dude.
Yeah, I'm going to definitely celebrate with a nice cold one.
All right, well, I'm going to get you down that post-race campfire. We're going to close this out tonight, and congratulations again, my man.
Thanks, man.
All right, guys. Well, this is going to take us to our unofficial results here on MaxspeedTV. TV. We'll get that pulled up of there. Vicente Guerrero, No Presta Esports, going to be your victor tonight here at the iRacing Super Speedway. Adam Kilday second, Jimmy Reynolds in third, Kenny Real finishing fourth, Nate Warren in fifth, Rick Sanchez sixth, Brian Wang in seventh. Dustin Logston in eighth. Whoa, I got Jeff Crosby Sr., but Jeff Crosby Sr. in ninth. David Overstreet in 10th. Andrew Schroeder 11th. Stephen Luttrell in 12th. Richard Kuhn 13th. Mark Mann 14th. Dave Hunt 15th. Dan Harrington in 16th. Lynn McNeese 17th. Zach Fritsch in 18th. Rounding out the rest of the field here, Andy Brigante 19th, Peter DeBorja 20th, Gabe Butler 21st, Sean McCarr 22nd, Zach Workman 23rd, Josh Baugh 24th, Jeff Crosby Jr. in 25th, Steve Korsak 26th, Eric Laurie 27th, Steve Rada 28th, Doug Johnson 29th, Shane Ward out there in chat in 30th, Alex Giffen 31st, Les Levy 32nd, and Dude Conrad rounding out the 33 truck field. Again, I appreciate everybody tuning in. Stephen Luttrell jumping in the chat as well. Shane Ward, Bubba Winningham, Belva Phelps, William Luttrell out there, Jeff Brown, Moose Pie, Ibog, and everybody else that tuned in that was not in chat. Guys, I do appreciate every single one of y'all. And thank you so much. That's going to do it for us here tonight on MaxspeedTV. We will be back a double broadcast on Thursday with JM Squared calling the J&K Lift Services, the Truck Series, as well as me calling the OP Throwback Series right here on Thursday night. Until then, folks, please enjoy the rest of your week. Stay safe and have a good night.